G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for episode number 13 of a Hardcore Death Knight Achievements run. And just once again, since it's been a little while, I'd like to remind everybody what happens if you mess with ancient totems, or at least what can happen. We saw last episode that I did what I'm still going to call the most dangerous totem in the game, although maybe there's some celestial totems that are more dangerous, but that seemed okay. Anyhow, let's get on with the playthrough. Now, last episode I ended just after killing Krieg, and one of the items I had in my inventory when I came to do the in-between episode cleanup was these pants, which I am absolutely going to wear. Now, look at them, they've got pierce resist, they've got poison resist, they've got chaos resist, all really good stuff, but look at that armor, 814, more than double what came off of this one. Now the downside, of course, is that swapping these pants in uncapped my bleed resistance and cost +2 to Scars of Battle. Now Scars of Battle is this one here, which also gives bleed resistance and also gives increased armor absorption. So I had to put a silk swatch on there, and then I noticed that my armor absorption rate was down at like 82% or something like that. So, unfortunately I had to swap out the Ancient Armor Plate, which you can see down here gives 8% armor. I had to swap that out for a Scaled Hide, just to get our armor absorption back up. Now, if you can, you want to use 2 Ancient Armor Plates. But if you need the resistances, they are definitely more important. When I do find the Empowered Leg Plates of Valor, because they're going to drop. It's not a case of if, it's a case of when. When I do find those, I will most likely swap back to Ancient Armor Plates because they will come with a ton of pierce and bleeding resistance, and +2 to Scars of Battle is also quite nice. Now, as long as we're here, and we're at kind of the right level for it, I'm going to go and do another quick run through the Warden's Laboratory, just for the Aether Crystals, and at that point, we will be on our way. Now, I have to remind myself that button 4 on this class is not a move speed buff and a heal. It's, in fact, yelling at things to make them die, which, I mean, it's fun, for sure. But it's not a buff I have to maintain. Button 4 here is where I usually put Pneumatic Burst, Healing Word, Word of Healing, or Blood of Dreeg, that sort of thing. Things that give me a heal, provide a buff, generally go on button number 4. You'll notice also that I skipped that totem there. That's mostly in the interest of saving time. I'm not here for XP, I'm not here for items. I'm here for Aether Crystals, and we want to get this done so we can get into Act 2. Okay, one more. There we go. That's my one more. I'm surprised it didn't die, but that's fine. Alright, with that done, let's go talk to Krieg and grab some scrap out of the bank so we can fix that bridge. Yep, how can I help? The Warden's already dead. Ooh, extra XP, lovely. Alright, that's definitely a nice little chat we had there. Now, we do have Stephen Skinner coming up, so we'll be getting a ring from him. Whether or not we use it, we'll have to wait and see. I do now have 63 Aether Crystals. That sounds like a lot. That is still not enough. I will burn through these with crafting before I get to Ultimate. So you may wish to do another run. From this point forward, I think Elite caps out at level 90. So until you are actually level 100, you should be able to just farm the Warden's Lab for crystals. So when you need them, come back and farm them. Right, there's my 6,000 scrap, and that's still not a move speed buff. Let's go ahead and head through Act 2. Now, the items we're looking for in Act 2 are anything to replace our gloves would be good. We're also looking for a helmet, so the Ascended Cask from the Ethereal Cronley's Goons is what we're after. Potentially those shoulders, let's have a look at them. Armor value is nice. All that fire stuff, we don't care. This is a pile of chaos resists and armor and nothing else, so no. When you do kill what's his face there, don't forget to raid his stash here. This is a pretty good chest in terms of loot usually. This time I think this crate was more valuable to me, but you can get some good stuff out of that. We'll go and rescue Stephen Skinner here, stop him from burning the family alive in the house. Can we just... no. Okay. Put your mouse just at the bottom of the top option and click really fast. Good job, you saved a family. Now I can't remember if I grabbed this in normal, I didn't. So we'll get some tiny amounts of XP. And you know what? That's a totem, let's go do that. Just being a simple savage totem should make it relatively easy to just yell at them until they die. Speaking of yelling at them until they die, something that actually nobody commented on, which I was surprised, we're putting a lot of points into Break Morale, which is the reduced target's physical resistance stat, or debuff. Now, we also have, over here, this one, which is 9 reduced target's resistances for 3 seconds. These don't stack, so why do we have 2 sources of it? And the answer may surprise you. Right, so Break Morale here. This one, because it comes with crowd control, you can't really apply it to bosses. So this one, when we shout at things, this is for killing trash. And then this one can be applied to bosses. So yes, it's less. Once we max this out, I think it maxed out at like 22% or something like that. But the value there, in addition to all the healing and such, is that actually you can apply it to bosses. So they are both good, even though they don't stack. So that's why I took that one. I'm honestly surprised. I expected to have a couple of comments about it and have something to discuss, but it turns out I had to do it myself, which is fine. Alright, Wraithbone Sash I want to pick up for sure. Boots, I'm kind of looking for something like these ones, honestly. That would fix my bleeding resist problem, and then I could go back to... does that uncap my run speed though? Yes, it does, so I would have to put a mark of the Traveler on there, but this also comes with Elemental, so... these also have Elemental. I'll hang on to that for now, and I'm going to toss those in the sell me pile. Gun, hammer, pants, nope. Boots. Stanching is really good. I think the other ones were stanching as well, weren't they? Yeah, stanching of Winterstorm is cold stuff. Maven's Wit is the spirit. I mean, these ones are clearly better. Gun, chest, and shotgun. Chest is actually not horrible. If that was Formidable of something useful, that would be better. Formidable of the Eagle would be very nice. But that's fine. The other thing I could have done as well is I could have swapped out this Aether Soul or the one on the amulet and put a Wardstone there. That would have given me the bleeding resist I needed. But we are coming up on Homestead, which is absolutely crawling with ethereals, so I don't really want to do that. Okay, got the bad spawn, unfortunately means I have to run all the way back. All the way back. Once again, when it comes to the caravan here, we are going to take the side of Isaiah Redden, because honestly, you'd be silly not to. You can kind of make the argument for it in normal difficulty, because getting chaos resistance on the ring that his daughter drops is pretty nice. However, once you get to elite, your options for chaos resistances are much more expanded, and the value of that ring actually goes down, whereas the value of being able to buy potions that you maybe don't have the recipes for, that stays pretty high all the way to 100. And even once you're there, paying a few iron bits for it is often going to be cheaper than, you know, rare crafting materials or whatever the recipe requires. Alright, so we're going to do this fight now. Should be relatively easy. Can we just stand here and take no damage? Let's see. We're not going to take no damage, but we're definitely... Yeah, no, we're going to die if we stay there. That's fine. Alright. Just turn that off so I can see what's going on. And there we go. So, Blade Guard legs. Decent armor. Chance to avoid melee attacks is very nice. Markovian's advantage is worthless to us since we can't trigger it. So those are probably not so great. And none of this looks particularly interesting. Now I am starting to notice that it's taking a lot more force waves to kill things. So if I could get this to move. It is good that Azrakar here is more damage, and next up we will be taking Ulzard, or Ulzard, I think. We'll be taking this, and this is Fizz damage, defensive and resistance, health and chaos res, health and aether res. I thought there was more damage on here. That's a nice chunk of Fizz damage. Okay, that's more like it. And Ulzard's decree as well is pretty good. Now what you can do here, if you want to, if you're playing any class that isn't a Death Knight, you probably will have another attack over here. Like if you're playing a Witchblade, you'll have Curse of Frailty. If you're playing, I don't know, Blade Master, you'll have one of the procs. No, you won't have one of the procs. Blade Master won't have an attack. But anyway, you can have any other attack. Maybe you put 1 point in Ill Omen or 1 point in Bone Harvest or something. Just to put the point in here to start leveling this, you can do that. This is a really nice buff. If you're playing a Warlord, by all means, chuck a point in this and put it onto the Guardians, and they will proc it constantly. It's really good. One of the definite advantages of Warlord over Death Knight is those Guardians are really good at proccing things. Okay, let's continue on here. Now, I didn't go through the entirety of that cave. All I care about is the devotion point. And I'm going to do pretty much the same thing with a lot of areas now. XP will be flowing a fair bit quicker now that we're on Elite. So we don't really need to full clear areas. Not that we needed to on normal either, but I need to talk to his friend, don't I? That's not to say you can't full clear areas, but you will be massively overleveled. You'll probably hit 100 before you leave Elite, assuming you can find areas that scale to 90, which should be most of the later stuff, so you should be fine. There's nothing wrong with being overleveled, although it does make it a little more difficult. Always take the top option with Isaiah here. Any other option will result in you not being able to buy potions from him, and that is kind of the whole point. Okay. Doing the quests here. The first one is to go get a dynamite and blow up the door. The other one is to find this guy's elder and get their relic back. Now in normal, you don't really have a relic by this point. In Elite, you have the best relic available already, so we're going to give their relic back. Even though it is a marked improvement on the normal version. With that said, though, let me just get rid of all of this. This guy's quest is to go in here and get yourself a dynamite to blow up the door. But this is Elite. We have dynamite, so you can skip this entire mine if you want. I'm a sucker for royal jelly though, so I'm going to do it. And realistically, you don't lose a lot of time by coming in here, because it's kind of a shortcut, kind of a long cut. A shortcut with enemies that takes about the same time, I guess is how I would describe it, to getting towards that gate and to the Elder. So for me, I'm going to do it. You can skip this if you wish. These look really nice. Oh, they did until I saw what resistances it gave. Oh, that is a shame. If that had been the piercing one, piercing and fire, or anything else like that, I probably still wouldn't have used it. But of the kings is a really nice suffix that if you can get a couple of them and keep their uptime staggered, which is not easy, they can be really nice. Alright, let's just yell at these guys. Leander Green will maybe drop a gun. And you'll notice we're just standing still and force waving still. Nope, no gun for me. That's fine. Necromancers of Readiness is fine. A lot of the item decisions in this build, and a lot of the discussion around where to go, what to farm, all that sort of stuff, it's going to boil down mostly to go where you did in normal, farm what you did in normal, and then, except for these slots because we're going to be using faction items. So, shoulders and chest, we are going to be using faction items. They're already in the bank if you've been following along. And we're just waiting for level 65 to put them on. Potentially a helmet as well if you want to do that. The Malmoth Vanguard, or I think it's Malmoth Defender. The helmet from the Malmoth Resistance is also a very nice helmet. I happen to value the Warcry bonuses on the Flesh Warped Cask, so I'm going to use that, but you could absolutely use the guaranteed drop from the Malmoth Resistance instead of having to farm for a new helmet. That is absolutely something you could do. Let's go ahead and grab our relic to take back. So that's 3 slots covered with faction gear. I think there's an elite Legion Greaves at level 70, so that's another one. This is a crafted item. Once we kill Cronley, we'll have the reputation to buy the level 50 version. I don't think we're going to have the reputation for the level 70 version, but it does exist. Could go back and turn those quests in now, but I think I'm going to push on. So a lot of our gear is going to come from just buying guaranteed items from merchants, and then what doesn't come from that is mostly going to come from specific monster MIs. One of the other things we could do, once we get out the other side of the Arcovian Undercity, we could go farm ourselves another weapon. You could head back to normal and farm yourself another weapon. I believe the next weapon is 55 or 60, something like that. We're certainly due for a new weapon, so that's something you could do. I did get 3 royal jelly. Okay, I'm going to skip the beehive, and I think I'm going to have to go back to town to do some crafting for this devotion shrine. There we go. Vengeance, Vengeful Wraith, yeah. Now the question is, do I have the recipe? I don't know if I bought it. Actually, I kind of think I didn't buy it. Let's find out.
Got any more scrap metal?
Nope, past me was not clever enough to buy it. So, we have to come back for that. That's fine. So, we'll just continue on. The Rovers will sell that, and their reputation store is just up the road, so we'll make a quick detour. And we are actually, what are we up to? 48, so this will be our 49th devotion point. I won't say we're nearly done, but we're kind of nearly done. Where are we? This guy right here. And where is Vengeful Wraith? There we go. Okay, now without burning my rift, let's see if we can do this. Back to Devil's Crossing to use the blacksmith. And I pretty much guarantee you're going to have what you need for a Vengeful Wraith. It's, yeah, pretty cheap. There we go. And now we go and feed that into the Devotion Shrine, and that'll get us the first point of Ulzard. These are also kind of okay if you're doing a cold build or you're doing a retaliation build. The 36 offensive ability is honestly not bad in general, but we have better options. Okay, that's shoulders. I don't care about that. None of that is particularly good. Okay, let's go turn those quests in. I think we have a couple people to talk to back in town as well, which I probably should have done while I was there. And we are going to give them their relic back because I like getting more reputation, basically. Okay, let's max out field command first. I definitely want more offensive ability. I want to keep my crit chance above 10% if I can, because a lot of our resistance shred comes from Assassin's Blade, and you need to be able to crit in order to trigger that at all. Having a decent chance for it to actually happen is good. Okay, let's go have a look at Stephen Skinner's ring, and we have to talk to Monet, and that is going to be the Forgotten God's emissary who can stay there with a star on his head for a little while. Okay, bit of XP, bit of reputation. We do now have Honored with Devil's Crossing, so we buy the writ. And we could make the Devil's Waistguard. Let's see what it costs, and also did want to look at some of this stuff. I was considering using these, but honestly, I think I need the resistances from the Slith Primal Rings more. The other place you can get pretty good resistances is if you just go shopping. I know that sounds weird, but especially once you get to Homestead, you can just bounce between Homestead, which has 2 merchants that are easily accessible, and the front of Devil's Crossing, which also has 2 merchants that are easily accessible. And you can search a ridiculous amount of jewelry that way. Rings and amulets, these could be good. This one particular I use often, not because I care about retaliation, but because getting 15 poison and 15 bleeding resistance on both your rings and your amulet, which I'm actually going to do, unless I find something else I need more. Nope. So 3 of those now that we've got to Honored. The belt now that we've got to Honored, and you could consider using these if you're, if you need it. My elemental resist, I could lose 12% and it not be the end of the world. Vitality's probably fine, yeah, and poison, well, we're about to replace that. So I could take this off, and I would lose 1% cold res. You know what, I've talked myself into it. We're going to check on one of these. The attack speed on this doesn't do anything for us. Pierce and Aether res are kind of, they're nice, but we don't really need them anymore. And then the health and phys damage and stuff is really good. So I'm going to take that off. And as always, don't ever sell Slith Primal Rings. Or at least don't sell the normal one until you have the ultimate one. And always keep them both. Because you never know when you might need your resistance is bumped up just a little bit. Another point in physique, and I already spent those. Good, good. As far as devotions go, we are going to beeline for this proc, and then we'll fill the rest out. And at that point, we remove the hawk, and then we put 4 points in the crab. That 4th point there, that is a lot of offensive ability. If you are going to use the proc here, now would be the point you get it. Don't take Ulzard here, 40% phys damage. You take the proc and you put that onto whatever skill you like in order to level it up. I'm going to continue with the basic build, as it were. And speaking of that, let's have a look at our Devil's Waistguard. This is the level 50 version. We get a damage proc on it. It is physical. It does do a little bit of crowd control as well, but let's be honest, we only care about the damage. And can I take this off without gimping my resistances? I should be able to. No, I need the elemental stuff. So that might actually be the first time in the history of Forever where 28% lightning resist on an item is actually something that I need. Okay, that'll be fine. We'll chuck all this in here, and like I said, I'm going to keep this ring. This is not a ring you throw out. This is one you keep forever. And we'll chuck those in there, and of course we're going to eat that writ. I do want to keep those. These are actually very good boots. The only thing missing off of these is, well, Maven's Wit could go, but I would like to have some run speed on these, and maybe some, you know, physical resistance would be nice as well. But this is a decent pair of boots. Anyhow, we've picked up a little bit of damage. You could go with 2 of these if you wanted. I think, yeah, it would kill the resistances there. When I was talking about just checking for rings, these are the 2 merchants here. You can just check them when you come to town. Maybe you'll find something really nice. Probably you won't, but it doesn't hurt to check. Okay, where were we up to? Quaid, okay. And I still didn't speak to Stephen Skinner, so I guess his ring will have to wait. Which is fine. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use it. How is about this relic? Or this royal jelly that I already have? Seems good. Royal jelly salve. This one is also quite good. Regen, percent regen. You want to kind of stack all of those when you're going into a boss fight. You can get a decent chunk of regeneration from it. Alright, I'm interested to see if he can hurt us. I know his big slam, that one. Yep, that'll hurt us, but we just have so much healing. And coming up, once we're done with all of our devotions, we should be even more able to just stand in packs and tank it. At the moment, the damage type I'm most worried about is actually Elemental. I say most worried about, I'm not really worried about dying on this character. But there'll probably be some boss or other that has a huge hit that I think I can tank, and then at some point you realize you can't. Okay, free dynamite. This is the whole reason I came in here instead of just going around and avoiding the pit. I just came in here for that dynamite. And we head out the back door. And we are looking for the forges, of which there are, I think, 5, and we only have to find 3. So first one just here with the free dynamite next to it. Second one is going to be in the next little area with free person to kill. Just run over here, grab this cool little hidden chest. Not expecting anything good out of it, it's just fun. I like the hidden chests like this. Just ticking away. They will eventually kill themselves if you just stand there. Alright, let's blow that up. Here is Silas the Skinner, and now he's a corpse. You know what? They aren't going to have the helmet I want, so I don't care. Now we are only going to be using, if I find one, the Ascended Cask for a few levels until we can get out to Homestead Way, at which point we're going to swap back to the this one, Flesh Warped Cask. I believe I have now collected all of those that I need. Let's go see Darius. my good friend Darius. Now, I am looking at this point, not really looking for the fire guys anymore. I'm mostly looking for the aether guys, specifically ones that have glowy heads, because humanoid enemies will actually wear items that they can. So anyone who doesn't have the item on their head is going to be someone who can't drop it. Hopefully whoever that siren is for is okay. There's an incendiary cask and shoulders, so we can look all fiery and cool for a bit. Stats wise, not really any good. Kind of the same for these shoulders. The armor is about on par with the Legion stuff. The resistances are actually better, although we really don't need bleeding anymore. But chaos is always good. We would lose a bit of aether. Don't need the chaos. Honestly, the thing I like most about these shoulders is that massive pile of offensive ability. So, it's tempting. It is tempting, actually. I don't think I will, but it is definitely tempting. Okay, what's that ring got on it? That actually looked interesting, so we can have a look at that. Where are we? I'm also... Oh, I think the gloves are actually fine now. Okay, Mystic Inscribed Band of Scorched Runes. So all that colorful vomit at the top of that is useless. Health, Spirit, Pierce, and Elemental Resistances. So that's actually a downgrade in Elemental Resistances from the Slith Primal Ring. However, it's probably a slight upgrade on the Devil's Wrath Seal, but it's probably also too much effort to bother. Okay, and there's a little bit more poison and acid resist. And where is... there he is. Have you got a new hat for me to look at? Nope. Alright, moving along. As I said, we're only going to replace that flesh warped cask with an ascended cask, so the green one. If it's not a green cask, then I don't care, you can keep it. All these guys through here, he might have a fire hat, he doesn't. None of these guys are gonna have it. This guy might. Nope, he's got dynamite though, I'll take that. This one here is also a good source of dynamite. I almost always walk through this way just to check that. I'm not entirely sure why I didn't do that this time, but hey, here we are. Alright, have you got a hat? Nobody's got a hat. They do ragdoll nicely though. Because we killed Durrani, he's not here, otherwise you would have to fight him there. Usually when I come through this place, I will get about one each of the fire and aether helmets and shoulders. Probably have a slight bias towards the aether ones, just because most of the guys in here are aether warped. They're not like fire dudes, which yes, that's what I'm calling them. Alright, how about you? Nope. Nope, nobody's got any. I am actually looking for one of these hats because the armor value on this helmet is not good. There is Ascended shoulder pads, which are actually better than the incendiary ones. Although still not amazing, but better. Okay, Moneybags Martin, if you're standing in fire, consider moving out of the fire, otherwise just blow him up. And I'm definitely noticing the damage is a little anemic at the moment. It may be time to farm for a new weapon. Let's just go ahead and take care of these lovely friendly people. Turn the loot off so I can see. So this is kind of the reason why I have this bound to a button. If you're just standing still and force waving, then you're not going to be able to see anything behind all this. It's definitely worth having the ability to turn it off. Amulet don't care, weapons don't care, shields don't care, boots? Nope. Hammer, boots? Nope. Halberd don't care, Hauberk? Nope. 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 Okay, this is all being sold. Okay, we are up to Cronley, and unfortunately I didn't find a new hat, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. However, I do have some changes I want to make. So because my bleeding resist is fine now, my piercing resist is also fine, I'm going to swap the components on these. I want to go back to the ancient armor plates. So I'm the one pair of boots I didn't actually want to sell. I'm going to go and do that now before we go into Cronley. These ones are actually kind of bad, if that makes sense. Aether and Chaos damage, we don't care. Elemental converted to Aether, we don't care. 7% Spirit, don't care. So this is basically a pair of arms, or a pair of shoulders with armor, percent armor increase, which is nice, and Chaos resist. So they can go as well. And we haven't really found any new items. Might be worth hanging on to that one. Nah, why not? Just sell that. Can always find other stuff. Those boots I think we get next level. So actually we already had, maybe not better boots, but definitely good boots. The other thing I am considering is ripping that Aether Soul off and putting a Wardstone on there just to fix Elemental. Because we don't need the Aether. You know what, I am going to do that. It does mean we lose our movement skill, but honestly I haven't been using it very much. I don't think I care. Alright, so Wardstone. We don't need the bleeding, but now we need the elemental. So we'll chuck that on there. That'll fix that problem. Bank all this rubbish. Oh, it's not really rubbish. You know what I mean. And we will take ancient armor plates. So 81% because of Scars of Battle, and the base amount, I think 70, 75, 74, something like that. So 81%, and now we put on ancient armor plates, and we're back up to like 97 or something. 92, okay. Guess the other 5% was coming from those pants with +2 to Scars of Battle. That's fine. I'm happy with 92%. More obviously would be better, but you can see the armor rating on our gear is considerably higher now, just from having that percent armor. Okay, that's enough waffling. Let's go kill Cronley. Then we'll do a bunch of quest turn-ins after we get the Twin Falls Rift. And then probably have time for the Arcovian Undercity. Alright, first time we've seen him, so he wants to talk. Not sure why, but whatever. Now we kill him. The only thing that can really threaten you with Cronley is standing in the goop, and potentially, if you don't kill his friends and their Aether Crystal, potentially you can be kind of overwhelmed. So you just wait for his shield to come down, keep an eye on your health bar. When you see you are standing in Aether, you'll notice here 173 defensive ability reduction. Just means there's a decent chance that they can crit you. 0.5% chance, not a big deal. Alright, that's the end of Cronley, and he didn't drop me his MI, which is a ring. which definitely would have been worth looking at, but he did drop 3 rings. So Mystic of Arcane Balance, probably not. Mage Storm of the Sea, definitely not. And Mighty of the Cabal, no. How about this chest? Decent armor on it, good health, probably not. Stalwart of Squalls. I think our armor, aside from the helmet, is probably fine right up until we get 2 more rings. Right up until we get to 65, and then we'll be fine because we have the Mammoth resistance reputation stuff. I've got plenty of Aether clusters. I'm going to just destroy it, and I'll take the Aether stuff. So, Wrathstone, Aether Soul. I'm going to use this later to put back on there. Codex of Truths. Nope. I mean, we're never going to use a book, but I just like to look at the items. So, the last few enemies here. Then we'll go do a whole bunch of turn-ins. And that'll be it for the first half of Act 2, I guess. Move on to the Arcovian Undead. I say this every time I come out of Cronley's hideout, and every time I come out of Darkvale Gate. If you don't come out here and collect this Rift Gate, and then let's say you log off, or, you know, turn the game off, as it were, you are going to have to run that entire dungeon again. So make sure you come out here and get this. Right, with that said, let's go back to town. And we got a bunch of people to talk to. So don't let me forget Skinner again. Okay, yep, I'll speak to Barnabas. Okay, getting Devotion procs leveled up is very nice. Yep, let's have a look at that ring. Physical, percent physical health, Pierce and Elemental. This actually would have been pretty good. I would probably have won this at the time over the Devil's Wrath Seal. I'm not going to now, though. Also, I did just check Break Morale. I was wondering if it was potentially over 12. It's not. Anytime you get a skill, so if I found a, I don't know, pair of gloves or something that had +2 to Warcry on it, I would actually take 2 points out of this and put them somewhere else. You generally want to keep these skills around 12 out of 12. Oleron's Rage, I have a bit more in. Exclusive skills also kind of scale the same as these, but the extra damage from this I think is worth it. I'm just looking at where we're going to go next. So after Field Command, probably Squad Tactics. And then after that, probably Blindside. And then after that, we might just start pumping the Necro Bar. But that's going to take a little while. And where am I going? Sorry, I can't brain today. I has the stupid... Alright, sell all this. Any rare rings? Nope, just an amulet. What about this guy? You got any rings? Nope. 2 amulets, that's fine. I'm pretty sure I don't need to talk to Barnabas here, but why not? Yeah, no XP for talking to him yet. Okay, what do we got? Twin Falls, Quaid, and Quaid. Okay. Old Arcovia. I have destroyed the forges, I've killed moneybags, I have found some texts, and goodbye. Okay. More skill points. Let's go ahead and chuck 1 in there, and 1 in there. That's that done, and 1 point of physique. Didn't forget to spend devotion points, which is nice. And how are we with the rovers? Respected. Okay. We're about to fix that. I think they don't like the undead. Yeah. Okay, back to Twin Falls, where we will kill a bunch of undead. Also, I'm going to just take the minute or so to head over this way and just rescue our good friend Helen Fletcher. Okay, we can give him the bits, and then we can talk to them and tell them about the prison, send them back to Devil's Crossing, and we'll get some XP and reputation from them later. And yeah, it's definitely time for a new weapon. I think it's 55 and then another one at 70, so I will almost certainly be farming a new weapon. I might even go back to normal to do it. I think they should drop up to 60 in normal. Having access to those Chthonian totems would certainly make it quicker. Or just walking into the necropolis could also be good. Alright, turn the loot off. Okay, there is Honoured with the Rovers. Haven't seen it pop up yet, but I pretty much guarantee it's going to be there. And we got a bunch of blue items. Okay. Just a bunch of items in general. Okay, empowered. Alright, we'll just pick all this up. Ugdenbog Waist Guard. Unfortunately, it's the wrong waist guard. Alright, blue items. What do we get? Empowered. Which one is better? This one is better. We'll sell that. Am I even going to use these? So because I took this off, my Aether resistance would be uncapped if I put this on. So I actually can't wear these. Also, cold resist, minus 17%, I would lose. No, that would just be capped. So no, I can't actually use this yet. Empowered Cindervein Mantle, no. No, I'm not using their amulet. What about chest? Nope. Gloves? No again. Okay. So nothing amazing there. However, rovers are on it. So let's go buy their writ and speed up getting to Revered.
Come see what's left of my
As long as we're here. Let's get rid of these. I'm probably almost certainly not going to wear those. I don't need these ones anymore either. So we'll get rid of those. Now, for the rovers, do we want any of their recipes? No. How about their items? Definitely not. What about some of these? Now these are rings and amulets. No. Two-handed. This is all... No, that's the only two-handed weapons. Okay, one-handed weapons, same thing. Two-handed weapons. One-handed. Alright, here we go. Rings and amulets. Is any of this going to be better than... Nope. Okay, don't want any of that. The rings are not for us, and neither are the augments, so we're done here. Back to the Arcovian Undercity. Or at least the Arcovian Overcity for the moment. But the important part is we did just get the Rover's Writ just before we're heading into an area full of monsters, or undead I guess, that will give us reputation with them. So it's definitely worth taking that little side detour, I guess you'd call it. Yep, right here, this lectern. This might not be here. There's 3 locations it could be, and you generally want to find the one outside because it makes finding the 2 instead of 3 inside. Makes it a little easier because they're on your map. You don't have to go looking for it. Next location it could be is just here. And this is one of my favorite little secret areas. Does have hidden spoils. Unfortunately, no exalted chest here. I think they should add an exalted chest there. That's a pretty cool little side area. Alright, another devotion shrine, and of course we are going to turn it on immediately, yell at everybody, and then focus down these guys. It's a lot of sirens today. Nothing bad's happened. Although I guess if you're hearing sirens, probably something bad has happened. Alright, let's grab our stuff here. And we'll go ahead and continue on Ulzod. One more, so when we get down to Kilrian, we'll have the proc there. And I'll explain how that proc works when we get it. Alright, how are we doing for time? I think we have enough time to go down to the bottom of the Arcovian Undercity. I do want to keep these episodes around about an hour, so we'll do that. Should be able to get through the Arcovian Undercity. Just looking at levels, I'm still considerably lower level than I'm used to. Not a problem, it's just different. So you can dodge through a lot of these. Anytime you step on rocks like this, you can expect stuff to jump out of the ground at you. This should be interesting. This is one of the main reasons why I really enjoy the Aether Death Knight, or potentially even a Vitality Death Knight, is just because of the proc on Spectral Binding. Just watching entire hordes like that walk up, shoot you a few times, and then ragdoll across the screen as they die is quite fun. Alright. So I found a star. C star, we kill star. And where is he? Priests have got to go. All of them. We're doing a decent amount of Steps of Torment in the last couple of days. And priests are just absolutely the bane of my existence. I had this one section where I was fighting, what's his name? The Musalaki wannabe who's at the top of the bottom floor. Traps you in the room with him. Does the spike nova that really hurts. Can't remember his name. Igor? Igor, I think it's Igor. I had a priest on the other side of the door, so I couldn't get to him. He just kept healing Igor. It was incredibly frustrating. Alright, dropping a portal here. Anyway, I hate priests. That's kind of where I was going. Okay, we'll do as he asks, and you know what? I'm going to take a quick detour here. It's going to make the episode a little bit longer, but you know what? I'm doing it anyway. So we run through here. There is an Exalted stash, potentially, just up the end here. Not today. That's fine. Going to take a quick run through here. You know what? I'm going to skip him as well. Now it is important, especially on Elite, that you do check these. Regenerating, I don't think I care. We don't do the damage types that they have a weakness to, and we will kill them fast enough that their regeneration is not going to matter. Does it change between levels? That's the real question. Nope. Okay. So the objective here is just to get to the end as fast as possible. You can fight the Chthonians if you want. If you need XP or whatever, feel free. But we are here for one specific type of Chthonian. And it's none of these. Alright, I'm going to start killing them off here, I think. These guys, the Chthonian Vanguards, are what I was here for, except I want the ones with yellow names, so like the Tyrants. This guy, I still actually haven't looked at what he does, so I'm just going to walk away from him. Check the other side for any of these guys. Nah, they've all got white names. That's unfortunate. Well, that's not unfortunate. Okay, new weapon. New weapon, everybody. That's how you do it. You just walk in and you just get it. This run has actually been kind of blessed. There's been a few times where I've gotten things considerably faster than a lot of you have, so I'm sorry if yours doesn't quite shake out that way. Right, with that said, we are going to be losing PS Res, don't care, but that 8% armor and 20% stun resist is something I do care about. Homestead Magic Augment. I'm not going back to normal for that, so we'll just chuck that on. It does uncap my Aether, so I do need to melt this. Yeah. I was considering keeping it so I knew where to get the augment from, but whatever. I've got 2 other augments in here from when I was looking at them. In the bank, that is.
Safe storage, no questions.
So, what do we got? That is probably better.
I'll keep
We'll go with that one. The alacrity one, remember that that attack speed doesn't help us, so of alacrity is completely worthless.
I'll give you a good price for what I've got left.
Having said that, probably would have been still
It's a good use.
more than likely a decent upgrade just because of the extra base damage. Alright, so new toy out of the way. Let's head back down and talk to Kilrian about our devotion. For which I need to click on the correct rift gate. And then we can continue over this way. Alright, and we should notice a fairly big increase in damage. Yep, we're back to one-shotting things. Very nice, very nice. Let's go ahead and grab this book. That's the last book we needed, so that's good. And a lot of these procs as well, a lot of the defensive stuff we have is going to be based on our weapon damage. So for example, this one here does weapon damage. It's pretty good. This one here actually doesn't do weapon damage. That's surprising. Anyway, weapon damage really good. Because Force Wave, if nothing else, definitely uses it. Alright, let's get a move on. We got places to be, priests to kill. That is actually a lot of fun, just yelling at things and having them die. Walker, I am pretty sure, has weapon damage on it now. Yep, 50% weapon damage to Walker from that helmet. So our Walker just got a bunch of extra damage on it as well. Very nice. Alright, as long as we're here, we may as well get Laudos Vagra and Ravina Kerr. And I'm eyeing up that totem there as well. Because anyone who's watched my other series knows that I love me some totems. Just turn that off. Totems are a lot like the treasure troves. A lot of the benefit you get from doing them early is that you will have a lot of these basic blueprints when you start farming for the more advanced ones at higher levels. I did just notice that blue chest piece. And I'm definitely not using it. I say definitely. I don't think it matters. I think we're close enough to 65 that I'm just going to wait for the faction gear, but you could absolutely use something like that. Okay, Nomos Dread is down, or whoever that was. Was that Nomos Dread? I know I am crazy, but I didn't think I was that crazy. Alright, that's fine. Anyway, we killed Laudos Vagra. And let's go downstairs. We'll kill off Ravina Kerr. Hopefully find the treasure trove in that section, which would be very nice. We've already done... I've trained myself to kill those because of the Spellbreaker. We've already done the totem, but if you haven't already done it, it's probably here. And don't forget your little secret here. First time through these areas, you get a bigger chest, so definitely worth checking, but on repeat visits, usually not really worth it to go in there again. Checking for priests here. Found one. I seem to have lost him though. Alright, no more priests as far as I can see. Let's see, you know what? I see you. You need to die. Okay, and Ravina Kerr goes down, and just a hidden spoils. I guess we can go get a hidden spoils. Why not? The treasure trove could be here as well. Grasp of Unchained might actually be good on this build. It's a shame I said I'm not going to use purple items, isn't it? Because yeah, those are really, really nice. But that's fine. No purples. You don't get to suspend the rules just because you find an item that you like. Alright, so I missed the treasure trove. It could also be here on this little platform. I think it's kind of here-ish, but that's fine. Didn't want the treasure trove anyway, let's be honest. No, I totally did. I would be very happy if it was right there. Unfortunately, it's not. So, here we are. Okay, make sure your vitality resistances are under control, because Kilrian does a ton of vitality damage. And let's just go kill him. The good thing about having a lot of points in Warcry is it hits most of the screen, if not all of the screen. I was worried about this priest healing him up there. I was watching him. Like, can I kill him before the priest gets here? Turns out I could. Okay, Cold Stone. Definitely willing to craft one of those for a devotion point. As long as we're here, let's go ahead and... Nope. Nope, the rules are the rules. Oh, he dropped his Shattered Soul. That's nice. Baby Jesus is out there somewhere crying. But, like I said, the rules are the rules. Okay, and we need a Cold Stone, wasn't it? Yeah. Poor baby Jesus. That actually really hurts. Those are perfect gloves for this build. Some of, actually, one of the physical level 100 builds I was looking at actually uses the mythical version of those gloves. Ah well. Alright, Vengeance, I don't think I care about. Level 59 though, that I care about. 2 more points in squad tactics. Leveling this up is giving us casting speed and all damage, but honestly it's mostly the casting speed that I care about. And we did get a devotion point, which means... Right, Oswald's Decree. I'm putting it on Warcry. Here's why. You'll notice there that it has a 6-second duration. That means it's putting a buff on us, which means we are getting all that stuff as a buff for 6 seconds every 22 seconds. Let's see if there's something I can crawl out of the ground that I can proc it with. Let's see if there's something that'll crawl out of the ground that I can... No? Nothing? Okay, I wonder if I can proc it on maybe some of these. Nope. No blueprint from this one, but we did get an Eldritch Essence, which is pretty good. Is there seriously no undead left on this level? Really? Ah, there we go. Okay. Boom. Alright. Olzad's Decree. 100% chance, so basically we push that button and we get it. It does say 100% on attack. I expected that to be lower. Anyway, adds a bit of physical damage, percent physical damage. Adds some armor, which is also quite nice. Armor sources that are not the armor pieces themselves apply to all of your armor, so that's very, very nice. However, we've just hit 1 hour and 4 minutes. So on that note, I'm going to end the episode here. So thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.